So I am doing a hopefully not too long video on host coaching. It's a very essential part of having a successful Scentsy business, and if you're interested in hosting a party, it's what is to be expected of you kind of as a host. So this may be one of those videos that some of you may deem boring, but if you are interested in becoming a consultant or hosting a party, this is something you definitely want to watch. So the first thing we're going to get into is what is host coaching. So host coaching is essentially training your party host for what's going to happen at the Scentsy party. We don't want to complicate things. One of my favorite sayings is keep it simple, stupid, kiss. Okay? You don't want your host to feel overwhelmed. Essentially, you are preparing your host for possibly being a recruit. So you want to show him or her how easy it is to do a Scentsy party. And we all know how easy it is. So the main thing you're going to want to focus on is getting people to the party, and that is something that you're going to stress to your host. Okay, is that you need to have people there, because no party can be successful if you don't have people there to get that PRV up. And for those of you who don't know what PRV is, that's what we basically call dollar sales. Okay, so when someone is interested in booking a party, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to get a date, right? So right after you're done with that date, and I also want to bring something else up. You are going to treat your host with the utmost respect and professionalism. And if you have ever booked a party and you weren't treated with the utmost respect and dignity, then don't take that out on Scentsy. Maybe you and that consultant weren't a very good match. Or if you've ever done a party with a different company, don't let that give you a negative feel on the whole situation about hosting a party. So let me just say that right away. So when you book a party with me or anyone on my team, you will be treated with the utmost respect and professionalism. Okay? So that's to be expected. So we are going to, right after booking, I am going to share a host packet with you. Okay? So in your host packet, let me see if I have that exact list. Okay, so in your host packet, this is what, if I was your consultant and you're hosting a party with me, this is what you would get. You're going to get a wish list. I want you to fill out your wish list so I know what objects you like, what products you like, and there's the reason why I do that. Okay? 2 catalogs. I usually give out more than that, but this is the minimum. So if you're a consultant and you're just starting, this is what's expected to be in your host packet. 2 to 3 host or join brochures. What are host and join brochures? I know I have one handy. So a host and join brochure, I give these to everybody. It's just an opportunity brochure to join or host a party. I give them to everyone, with every sample, everyone. You guys have probably all seen these. So that gives all the information inside of them about how they can host a party or join. So they're going to want to give those out. You want a host envelope for collecting outside orders. You're going to want flyers of our current promotions and specials, or any specials that you may have as a consultant can be included in your host packet too. 5 to 10 order forms with your contact info included. That's important. Everything you give out at a party should have your label on it. I pick something up at my desk and I know it's not labeled. This would never be given to anybody. There's not a label on it. If someone goes to someone's house and they pick up their wax, I want them to see my name. I want them to see my face. I want them to see me. Okay? An example of a completed order form that should be included in the host packet. Invitations. You can use postcard invitations. You can go to dollar store and get invitations. That's where I get my thank you cards and everything. And some wax samples. That's it. That's what goes in the host packet. Okay? So right after the booking, you're going to want to meet with your host, or your consultant's going to meet with you, and we're going to give you a host packet. Okay? Now, something else that I can encourage my host to do to collect orders is to share a basket party. Now, I put up a video about what a basket party is. I don't have it on my desk anymore, but it's a little container, little tote, so to say, with different Scentsy products in it, along with catalogs, joint brochures, monthly specials. And why it's good to give that to a host, even if you're doing a home party, is because that's a good way for them to get to know the products, for them to get orders before the party even begins. Okay? So if some people can't make it at their work, or if you're a host and you have someone at your work, you can bring the basket party in. They can't make it to your home party, but you have that second option. And yes, we do the online option thing too. We'll get to that. So you're going to share a basket party. Make sure, same rule apply, basket party, week, 2 weeks max. Okay. Give your host a catalog. Okay. Yes, it's in the host packet, but you want them to have their very own catalog. Have your host look at the catalog before the party. That's important. You want your host to kind of familiarize with the products and prices. Okay? You want them to write down everything that they want on that wish list. You want to know, as a consultant, what your host wants. And then if you're a host, well, there's some stuff that you might want to get with your host rewards. So another good thing to do right after the booking is just to keep the lines of communication open. You must let your host know that you'll contact them the next day and invite them to contact you with questions. So right after booking, when you hang up that phone or you exchange text or whatever you do, you let them know your availability. I always go above and beyond for my host. It doesn't matter if they're related to me, if they know me, best friend. I treat all my hosts with the utmost respect, and I keep that line of communication open for them. There really is no exceptions when it comes to someone who wants to host a party. I don't ever want them to feel like they can't get in touch with me. Now, of course, 2 in the morning, that could be an exception, but I will still get back to them. Okay, but I work overnight, so it's a little different. All right, so the day after your booking. So you're going to do that directly after everything I just talked about. You're going to want to get that host packet to them. You're going to want to get them a catalog. You're going to want to let them know that they can talk to you. You're going to talk to them tomorrow, and you're just going to do all this stuff right away. So the day after booking, or the day you meet with your host when you decide you want to book this party, when it's finalized, when the date has been set, you're going to make that link on the workstation. So the host will have a party link so they can post on their Facebook. They can send it out in a text message. They can send it out in an email. Okay? So as a consultant, you'll do that on the workstation. You must send your host a save the date email so they remember this is the date you reserved with me. Because sometimes they'll forget, the host will forget, but you won't. They get days mixed up. We're so used to our time and dates that we know, okay, if someone says the 28th at 2, well, we're putting that down, but we want to make sure that they know and that they're sending out save the dates. So this is when you want to start talking about the guest list. So the 10-7-2-1 rule, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with it. Invite 10, 7 will show up. What is it exactly? Hold on. I don't want to mess it up, and I do know it, but I don't want to mix something up. No. Basically, it's something on the effect, if you over invite, you want 10 people to show up, 7 to buy, 2 to book 2 to do a party, and 1 to join. That's the ideal from a party. Okay, you invite 10, 7 are gonna buy, 2 are gonna book a party with you and 1 will join. That's the 10-7-2-1 rule. So you wanna at least 10 guests in attendance. Now look, I've done parties smaller and done great. Okay, I think 5 is ideal. So you want to encourage your host to over invite. Not everyone's going to be able to attend, so some guests who RSVP won't show up. So encourage your host to invite about 20 to 30 people. Find out how your host wants to invite people. Some people like to create a Facebook event. Some people don't have Facebook and want to send out literal invitations. So find out what way your host wants to invite their guests and do what they want. What your host wants, you do. This is their party. So you want to do whatever they want you to do. That's it. Bottom line. Okay, you cater to your host. If your host wants to send out postcards, then that's what your host wants to do. Okay? If your host wants a Facebook event, then that's what you do. Okay? You're going to want that wish list back. So after you had your initial sit down with your host, and I do suggest setting up an appointment right away once you have a confirmed date. Set up to meet with them that day, if not possibly. And you can email them the wish list after they officially book with you. They can fill it out, and when you meet with them again the following day, get that back from them. That's important because you're going to want to know what they want. Because when it comes time to their host rewards, you're going to want to know exactly what they want. Okay. What am I missing? A whole page. I really am missing a whole page. All right, so 2 days after. All right, so a couple days later, you want to check in with your host. Confirm how many people are going to be at the party. Okay. Find out how your host is doing collecting orders, so get an update on the numbers. Decide on a party theme if they want one. That's important. Some people want to go have all these crazy party themes. I have a girl who wants to do a unicorn theme, I believe, or something. So, find out if they want to do a theme. Plant the seed that your host would make a great consultant. That's really what you want to start doing, because why host coaching is so important is you want your host to join. And you want to make it look really easy so your host will join. Okay? So then you want to set up another date, probably right before the party, just for another conversation. It doesn't have to be one-on-one, but you want to just let them know that you'll be in touch with them again. So about a week before the party, you're going to send a reminder text to your host, ask your host for another update on attendees, ask for an update on orders, remind your host to keep refreshments simple. That is something your host should provide, not you. 3 days before the party, send another reminder text, phone call, whatever you do. Update on orders, attendees. Ask your host about space for your demo, for your presentation, because you're going to bring to your party what's expected to be at a party. What I usually recommend is one of each type of warmer we have. So an element, a regular warmer. It doesn't have to be like a lampshade or, wrap type warmer. You can just have one warmer with the bulb, a plug-in, and a diffuser. And I also bring a Scentsy Go now. But if you don't have a Scentsy Go, that's okay. But I know diffusers aren't in the starter kit right now, but it's something that you really should invest in. It really will make a difference for PRV at parties. If you don't have a diffuser, it's really hard to sell them. Like really, really hard to sell them. So ask your host about space for product display. So the day before the party, okay, you're just going to make one last push. Remind your host they can still keep collecting outside orders, okay? The day of the party, you're just going to wake up, shoot your host a text about the party and directions there. That's it. You do your party. You treat your host with the utmost respect, okay? You treat the guest with utmost respect, because ideally you want a couple of those people to book with you another party, and you want one of them to possibly join. Hosts are great for getting to join Scentsy because they already have a strong liking to something about the company because they booked a party with you. So after the party, This is where some confusion sets in. Most hosts want their party closed ASAP. Some consultants think they get to decide that. No. If you host a party and it's reached an amount that you deem sufficient as a host, and your consultant is trying to make you wait, it doesn't work like that. It's completely up to the host when the party is closed. Again, when I say treat your host with the utmost respect, these are the things that I am talking about that I have heard other people complain that other consultants have done. And I'm not saying what companies, so on and so forth. But when someone is booking a party, a home party with you, they are giving you a significant amount of commission. I'm just keeping it realistic here, and I'm keeping it 100. Okay, you have the potential to make $300 in an hour at a home party. So you're going to treat your host with the utmost respect, and if they want to close their party on that day, then you do that. So you're going to set a date for closing the party and collecting outside orders. So you still want to encourage your host to collect more orders. So you want them to always remind them what their host rewards are at. So once your host has decided, I close my party, I'm good with my host rewards, get out that wish list. That's when you want the wish list. And you can say, okay, well, you didn't buy any of this stuff at the party. You didn't buy anything, right? Maybe they just bought one or two things. But a majority of their wish list, try to get them to get it all with their host rewards. Talk to them about joining. Say to them, wow, we did really good at this party. Do you know how much I just made? Well, we just did $1,000, so I get 25% commission on that, plus a half off item. 25% of 1,000 is what? $250. So in an hour, I just made $250 with you. Do you want to join? You collected a lot of orders outside this party. I mean, you're already doing the work. You should join. And chances are, if you treated them good, they're going to join under you. Now, what do I mean by if you treated them good? Okay, so this is what is not on this paper. Okay, this is straight from me, straight from my head. When you do a party, you give your host a gift. Yes, it should be something substantial with a good value to it. A warmer. A mini is fine. A mini is fine. And if you say that you don't have anything, you have a whole starter kit. We're going to be transitioning in a few months anyways. So they give you a lot in that starter kit. They give you a cleaning product. They give you laundry products. You can give any of that away. But when I say of good value, I'm talking a $30 product. $20 to $30 product. Just for booking that party. So when you walk in, everyone sees that you brought your host a nice little actual present. Now, party games and door prizes. Do you want to treat the guest just as good as the host? Not just as good, but good. Because you want them to book a party with you. So something that I like to do, which I didn't do at one of my last parties actually. Booking bags. That's why you want to know how many people are there, so you know how many booking bags to bring. So if someone books a party with you, and there's a reason why I didn't do this at my December home party, because I knew she was going to join, so I didn't really want, I should have did booking bags, but I knew that that was her people, that was her family, so I didn't want to like do that because I knew she was going to join. But predominantly what you do, you have booking bags, and for everyone who books, there's usually a wax bar in there, and if they book a party with you, you give them a little bag, but they get something. You can do a raffle and someone wins like a bar of wax or something like that. And you can do door prizes, scent circles. I know some people don't like them, and but people do like them. My customers buy them all the time. I just had someone buy $40 worth of scent circles. So people buy them. Anything. And this is stuff with our half off items, cost us half off. Boost rewards cost us next to nothing. So if you're just starting out and you don't really have anything, you have a whole starter kit full of stuff. You can make samples of washer whiffs. You can do all sorts of stuff. You have laundry samples, so all sorts of stuff. You want to treat your guest good. You want to treat your host good, because then they'll book another party with you. They'll possibly join, or at the very least, they'll buy from you again. That's what you want. You want your people to come back to you, and you want to give Scentsy and yourself a good name. So Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? So there is this really convenient checklist that, is this the one I liked? Okay, there's two different things. So there literally is a chart, and it's really good to have. On this chart, it has your hostess phone number and email, and then it has a checklist. So it will say things like send hostess packets, set up event on website, set up event on Facebook, coaching call 1, save the date, receive the guest list, mail invites, all these things. Coaching call number 2, receive hostess wish list. It literally is everything you're supposed to do, but then it gets down into the expenses. So it's going to break down how much you're spending for this party and how much you made at this party. And then it's got a part for bookings and your recruit. Okay? So I like how this chart breaks down your expenses, because a lot of us joined Scentsy, we're not business minded. Now I am, but a lot of us aren't. And a lot of us don't look at, oh, I bought a bag of Starburst. This is a business expense. This is a business expense. I bring candy to my Scentsy parties. So this is a business expense. So anything you buy, the gas you use to get to your party is a business write-off. Anything you mail, you know, any invites, anything like that. So anything, incentives, prizes, booking bonuses, postage, personal order. If you had to order stuff for this party and other expenses, put all that in. You're going to look at your party's total sales and your commissions. And then, like I said, bookings and recruiting. So that's actually a chart. It's a piece of paper that I actually use. It works well for me. It works really well for me. So that's something you can do. And then there is a checklist I actually found on Pinterest. So it's your hostess checklist. Make your guest list ASAP. 40 people in 4 minutes. Email save the dates. Mail invitations. Make a wish list. Collect 3 to 5 orders outside of the party. Call to remind guests a week before the party. Have at least 10 guests at the party. Follow up with no-shows after the party, and turn in all orders. So that's a pretty good summary of everything I just told you guys. Okay? So, what do you guys think about host coaching? Does it make it seem like doing a party would be more fun? Because I absolutely think host coaching is important. Home parties are really easy. And I feel like a lot of people don't book parties because they've been treated unfair in the past from a different company. So it's very important that us as Scentsy consultants kiss our hosts, because they deserve it. Okay, y'all, I'm going to end this. I hope you have learned something from it. And if you're planning on booking a party in January, you're going to get double host rewards. Okay? And always tell your host. Show them pictures of things that your other hosts have gotten with their host rewards. You know, because that will also maybe make them want to join. That's a whole other video about recruiting. But I didn't join because I wanted to get the host rewards from closing party orders, but plenty of people do. All right, y'all. God bless. Have a great day. I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and I'm going to put it on my Facebook. Oh, I'll put like and subscribe. Okay, I want you to like and subscribe, and you can always check out my website, tiffanymariewaxqueen.scentsy.us.